NBA free agent Malik Beasley under investigation regarding gambling allegations. Let's watch the video.
One of the top free agents on the market, Malik Beasley, who played last season in Detroit with the Pistons, was in serious talks already with that Pistons organization on a new 3-year, $42 million contract. But those conversations for one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, that being Malik Beasley, have now been put on hold. It is important to note, an investigation is not a charge. Malik Beasley has not been charged with anything as his attorney. Steve Haney was quick to remind ESPN and Shams Charania yesterday. But DRS, a gambling probe into Beasley based on one prominent sports book noticing some irregular trends in his account back in 2024.
Most people will look at this and say, this is why we can't have gambling because players get involved in gambling. No, that's not correct. This is why we have legalized gambling, so we can track these things and flag them immediately and then serve up justice and say, you know what? Do this again to anybody else, you will also be caught at this, so it's not viable. If we didn't have legalized sports betting and you could do this offshore, nobody would care at that point, nor there would be an investigation.
Okay, I just noticed that Malik Beasley kind of looks like Meek Mill. All right. I see Malik, and Malik rhymes with Meek as well. So I'm kind of when I was watching that video, I'm like, damn. And it may be a stretch or whatever, but Meek Mill is born in the 5th month. And Malik Beasley has that 5 on his jersey. Who else has the 5 on the jersey with the same birthday as Meek Mill? Angel Reese, who's heavily trending as well, right? May not be the best pick there to support my argument. But yeah, just kind of on the fly. Malik does sound like Meek. And I kind of saw Meek Mill when I was watching that video. So there's Malik Beasley, 5 on the jersey for the Pistons. Meek Mill, born in the 5th month. That's just kind of on the fly. I'm not really going to run with that. And again, I may be wrong, but this isn't a Meek Mill breakdown. So Malik Beasley, a free agent. I think they said he's one of the best three-pointers. I mean, who isn't one of the best three-pointers nowadays, right? So played for the Pistons. He's a free agent. Let's get into some of these connections here. Okay. So again, we have Michael Jordan energy because this is Malik John Michael Beasley. So yet again, we have more Michael Jordan connections. If you're as old as I am, you remember Michael Jordan had his own issues and gambling allegations. You see, that picks right off of Google right there. Looks like it was a quote from MJ. I don't have a gambling problem. This is a 151-day span. You see Malik Beasley is under investigation. A person familiar with the situation told the AP on Sunday. From Sunday to Malik Beasley's birthday from start to end is 151 days, and gambling equals 151 in the language, y'all. He's got that November 26th birthday. And remember, Jordan equals 26. And we're coming up on the year 26. Remember, Jordan played his first game in the NBA for the Bulls on the 26th day of October, 1 month prior in history. That was 1984. Even Michael equals 51, y'all. See that? Michael equals 51. Malik Beasley has 115 in the ordinal cipher, so you get those same numbers. 115, 151, 151. Michael equaling 51. Look at his father's name is Michael. He's an actor. Born in 68. Basketball equals 68, y'all. In the language. His dad's name is really Michael. You see that? Malik Beasley's father, actor Michael Beasley. Don't forget, this is Malik John Michael Beasley. And you do get John in there with that, add a H, like Donald John Trump, right? Does kind of look like Meek a little bit there, but when I was watching that video, unless I have to edit it out and you missed it because there was no volume, I saw some footage of Malik. I'm like, damn, looks like Meek Mill. Oh, Malik even sounds like Meek. That is kind of interesting because MJ played his last game as a player against the 76ers of Philadelphia and Meek Mill out of Philadelphia. That is kind of interesting. But let's get back. There's also this guy. Look, there's a Michael Beasley, a basketball player. I don't know if there's any relation. I'm going to assume not. But isn't that interesting? His father's name is Michael. You see how it says up there, actor Michael Beasley, Malik Beasley's father? Dad's name is Michael, and we got this Michael in the NBA. Let me fix the background there. I don't know if there's a relation here. Let me look up the guy and maybe look further into it. Michael Beasley. Does this guy still play? Michael Paul Beasley Jr., who last played for the Shanghai Sharks of the Chinese Basketball Association. I don't see where it lists, and it says parents. Oh, look. Parents, Michael Beasley Sr. So let me click and let's see if this is the same father. Let's just click right there. No, it's not. Dude also has a Michael Beasley father. Look at that. Is it going to allow me to click on the guy? No, maybe not. But that, look, Michael Beasley Sr., it looks like another guy. So we have two Michaels, fathers, right? So you got Michael Beasley Jr., Michael Beasley Sr., and then you have Michael Beasley, the father of Malik Beasley, and apparently there's no relation. Isn't that interesting? It won't let me click to get any further pictures or anything, but you can clearly see that's a different Michael Beasley, obviously. So isn't that interesting? I keep saying this stuff is with the language. Look at how the spouse to Michael Beasley the father of Malik, Dina, that kind of makes me think of like Don, like Donald. Remember Malik's middle name is John Michael, like Donald John Trump. And you get Dina Beasley, the spouse of his father. Just kind of interesting. Kind of makes me think of Don or Donald. Interesting, right? So, we are cooperating with the federal prosecutor's investigation, NBA spokesman Mike Bass. So, you even get this guy, Mike. If I could be like Mike, how does it go? So, you get the Michael Jordan connection big time. Dude named Mike in the article here. I mean, this is like under investigation. Ooh. You know what I mean? You guys seem like you have nice roles on the world stage, right? We got to sit out here and decode this stuff. You know what I mean? These guys and these characters are probably well taken care of as they try to deceive us. Even Detroit Pistons has 203. Dude kind of looks like the Game right there, the rapper. Remember the Game had that diss on Meek Mill as well. That's interesting, isn't it? But anyways, Detroit Pistons has 203, like 23. MJ puts the 23 on the map. Washington Wizards equals 230, like 23. Jordan retired with Washington in the year 2003, like 23. You know what I'm saying? Pistons equals 112, like Chicago Bulls. Right? Okay. But yeah, Detroit Pistons 203, like 23. Look how Detroit, if you look at the first three letters, debt without the B, like gambling debt, minus the B. That's interesting, right? Look at this date numerology. Remember, this article synced up with Sunday. Look at the date numerology Sunday, 26. Remember, Jordan equals 26 and 62. We're approaching the year 26. You got 62 date numerology on Malik Beasley's next birthday. And look at his next birthday, the 330th day of the year. Like 33. Bulls equals 33. Michael 33. His birthday upcoming leaves 35 days in the year. Chicago equals 35. Malik equals 35. Look at all of this numerology. Birthdays got 46 and 19. And 37. 11 plus 26 is 37. So 46, 19, and 37. Chicago 46 and 37. Jordan equals 37. Malik 19. Detroit 91. Malik equals 46. Did I leave anything out? I mean, 6 plus 29 is 35 with Sunday, June 29th. I mentioned earlier, born on the 26th even. Right? And you can watch it's like 2 videos ago maybe where this number 5 keeps hitting. Right? Angel Reese with the Chicago Sky has the number 5. She's got Meek Mill's birthday, which is interesting. Meek. That's pretty damn interesting. Fake world, huh? But yeah, he's born on the 26th. Even to sync up there, I mentioned that earlier. Don't forget Jordan before their infamous exit in 1991, the Pistons have been the biggest hurdle for Jordan and the Bulls to overcome. Don't forget that early in his career. And there's been a lot of beast energy. We're wrapping up the 6 month now. Man, he looks like Meek Mill right there. But there's been a lot of beast energy wrapping up the 6 month. We've been hitting a lot of 55. God and Satan 55. Remember, he's got the 5 on the jersey. Several breakdowns I've documented recently with the 55. Satan and God energy, the 6 month. Remember, Bulls equals 66, Michael equals 33, Bulls equals 33. A lot of 3s and 6s throughout Jordan's career. But look, Beasley, kind of like Beast. And you got the B like Bulls. M even with Malik, like Michael, John Michael Beasley. Interesting. And he's born in 96. I mean, Jordan, kind of at the end of his superstardom, kind of around that time, right? Don't forget Kobe Bryant drafted in 96. Bryant's got the B like Beasley. Obviously, Bryant and Jordan connected.
This just in at the NBA, where the U.S. District Attorney's Office is investigating Pistons guard Malik Beasley on allegations of gambling related to NBA games and player props. That's according to ESPN. Beasley has not yet been charged, as the investigation is still ongoing. He spent last season with the Pistons and will become a free agent on July 1st. ESPN reports that Beasley was in negotiations to return to Detroit on a 3-year, $42 million contract, but those talks are now on pause with a federal investigation underway.
Right? And that was that's a solid like Meek Mill. God, he looks like Meek Mill. And don't forget, let's just go over here. I didn't even plan on doing this, but don't forget Meek Mill's got the same birthday as Angel Reese, who's heavily trending. Same birthday as Angel Reese, May 6th. Malik, Meek. That's pretty interesting, and they look the same. Let me just do this real quick. When's the game's birthday? Ooh, on the fly. I don't know why, y'all. Remember the game dissed Meek Mill? I think, what was it called? Pest Control? That was a badass diss. Man, I was like I'm like, dude, kind of looks like the game also. And the game is kind of like basketball. Dude's birthday, the game is 3 days after Malik Beasley, y'all. The game be talking a lot about a lot of basketball bars in his lyrics. That could be a semi-stretch, but what are the odds now that the game's birthday is 3 days after Malik Beasley? I mean, that's pretty wild, isn't it? On the fly, as I just take you through my journey here of decoding. Malik Beasley, 11/26 birthday. Rapper the Game 3 days later with the birthday. That's pretty interesting. What's the game's Jayceon Terrell Taylor? I don't want to go too deep on that, but that's pretty interesting. On the fly, just to kind of take that chance. And with the rapper name The Game, and he had that pest control diss, like I said, on Meek. And some of this stuff may be semi-stretching, but I'm just kind of like, I'm just doing it, whatever. So that's just interesting how the birthdays land 3 days apart. Anyways, if you want to scratch that last part, you can. But there's definitely a Malik Meek. And I'm going to go back to that video and just play it real quick that first sparked my, me doing that search. Let's play that first video. Hopefully I don't have to edit it out and you don't see none of it. But let's play this first video. I'm like, dude, look like Meek. So I guess we're going to be over here now. Dude, he looks like Meek Mill. Look at that. Malik Beasley looks like Meek Mill. You know, that's interesting, especially with that Angel Reese connection. But anyways, I don't want to go. We don't need to go like all wild right now, do we? Let's go over here. So, is this some kind of like, you know, is this really a problem for Malik Beasley? Even the article updated at 5 a.m., 5 on that jersey. You know what I'm saying? Right? We are cooperating with the federal prosecutor's investigation. Spokesman Mike Bass said in a statement, ESPN was the first to report on the investigation. There have been no charges against Malik. Steve Haney, Beasley's attorney, told the AP it's just an investigation at this point. The probe into Beasley, that sounds funny, comes 14 months after the NBA banned Toronto's Jonte Porter, who was linked to a... That's interesting because it's Malik John Michael Beasley. You see that? And now Beasley, this investigation comes 14 months after the NBA banned Toronto's Jonte Porter. Don't forget Jordan won an NBA championship against the Portland Trailblazers. Jonte Taylor linked to a prop bet investigation, eventually pleading guilty to committing wire fraud. That's interesting. Yeah, and they probably have some more stuff in here, but I mean, you know, this is a decoding channel. I'm not going to really get super into the script like that. Let's look up Jonte Taylor real quick, though. Jonte Taylor might have an interesting birthday. Let's see if we can even get character to pop up on the world stage. There's a football player. Okay, so maybe dude's not even famous enough. Let's put Toronto. Did I put his name in right? Jonte Porter. Oh, I put Taylor. My bad. That's interesting because Terry Porter was on the Portland Trailblazers when Jordan beat them for his second championship. That's interesting. Look at dude's birthday is 11 days before Malik Beasley. On the fly. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at that. Dude kind of looks like Drake a little bit too. And, you know, Drake synced up with the Toronto Raptors, right? And that's interesting. They had Fred Van Vliet, who also kind of looked like Drake. That's interesting. This dude kind of looks like Drake a little bit as well. Look at the birthday, 11/15. And Beasley's birthday is 11/26. Even 11 plus 15 is 26. Remember, Jordan equals 26 and 62, man. That's interesting, isn't it? And again, back to the article. It's like I find a way to make these videos long, right? Back to the article here. Where's it at? Porter's ban came after a similar investigation into his performance and prop bets. Wagers where bettors... Don't forget, Toronto just fired their president as well. And that was all synced up with Michael Jordan. Masai Ujiri. That was all synced up as well with MJ. That's interesting because now I'm going to look up Terry Porter. Terry Porter. Man, that's wild. Clyde, look at, he's 62 years old. Jordan equals 62 and 26, man. Terry Porter's got the April 8th birthday. 4/8. Michael Jordan's last birthday, the 48th day of the year, dude. Come on, man. Jordan versus Terry Porter and Clyde Drexler in the 92 finals. Jeez, man. Porter on the Portland Trailblazers? Give me a break, dude. Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls faced off against Terry Porters. Look at this script, man. The world is so scripted. It's like, why do I even put together slides, dude? We just, I may find other ways to stay busy with my time. I may have to just do this on the fly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We're good enough. But whatever, you know, right? Whatever. So that's freaking wild. Okay, so I find a way to make the video probably 30 minutes again. What does the thumbnail look like? Nice thumbnail. I guess I'm leaving it like that. Looking all like Meek Mill right there. 5 on the jersey. Meek Mill born in the 5th month. Right? So all connected with gambling and MJ. No coincidence. When's the MJ energy going to fade, man? Oh, man. LeBron trending as well again? NBA free agent Malik Beasley under investigation regarding gambling allegations. Right? I mean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Okay. Again, you can go check the script elsewhere. If you tuned in because you think the world is real, you're going to be highly upset. As I state, I am a decoding channel. Until next time.